大家好，我是戴书炫，我是英国人。今天我想讨论5个意想不到的、令人觉得不礼貌的英语说法。这是根据我的经验，也包含我对中文的理解，因为有些说法是直接从中文翻译的。These things are a bit more of a subtle difference in tone, but they really do make a bit of a difference to how you come across in writing or in speaking. So the first thing that I've noticed is wait. I know that in Chinese it's very common to say 等一下, and it's quite polite to say just hang on a second. But if you tell someone to wait in English, it does sound a bit impolite. A better translation, I think, is hang on a second, or could you give me a moment, or please can you wait a second. This leads me on to my second point, which is that imperatives in general do come across as a little bit rude in English. Maybe tell me what time we should meet, because you want the other person to tell you. So you say, tell me when we should meet, check something, do something, see this, watch this. Any imperatives where you're just telling someone to do something do come across as quite rude. So a better way to phrase it is going to be to turn it into a question. Please could you let me know what time we're meeting, for example, or please could you have a look at this, or please could you check something. I know that in Chinese it's very common to say 请 at the beginning and then just the imperative afterwards, like 请做 or 请告诉我. But it is more common in English to actually turn the whole thing into a question. The next thing I wanted to mention is the word already. So I think in Chinese it's common to say 我曾经做过了, like to express that something is finished, it's happened, it's done. People might say I already saw it. So whilst in English it also means that something is finished, there's a bit more emphasis there on it's already been done. So if you say I've already done it, it can sound a bit defensive, like I've already done it. Like the emphasis is on it's finished, it's done. Like I've already done it, I've already seen it. Like why are you asking me? I've already seen it. Which I think is not what people mean to say, but I've just noticed this slight difference in tone. The next point I wanted to mention is to do with the phrase excuse me. Now, excuse me is probably a strange one because you're thinking, oh, excuse me sounds very polite, maybe even more polite than sorry, which it is when used in the right context. The times that I most frequently hear excuse me used is maybe on the street when there's a stranger who wants to ask me something. They'll say, oh, excuse me, and it's a very polite way to just open conversation and ask for something, for some help maybe. Another way is that I hear this phrase is on the street when someone is actually annoyed with you. So let's say that you're standing in the way or you've done something to bother someone. They might say, excuse me, and there's a tone of annoyance there. And I'll talk a bit more in detail about how to tell if a British person is annoyed or angry later on. They're using this phrase, excuse me, to express their irritation with you. And the other time that you might hear the phrase excuse me used is perhaps in a big lecture where there's many people and you want to ask a question, and again there's more of a distance between the speakers. Okay, so bearing those 3 contexts in mind, if you are one-to-one with someone and you want to say, oh, let's look at this, if you say excuse me, it can sound a bit jarring because it suddenly sounds like there's more distance between you, maybe sounds a bit more formal, or maybe like you could be annoyed or irritated about something. So I wouldn't use the phrase excuse me in a one-to-one situation. I would say something like, oh sorry, can we just take a quick look at that? So notice again how I've changed it into a question. Can we just take a look at this? And it doesn't mean that you're actually asking for permission, you're just letting the person know, please look here. Okay, the next aspect is I want. We're often taught as children not to say I want like this. It should be I would like. Some parents have phrases like I want doesn't get. It should be I would like it or please can I have it. So don't say I want, say I would like. So those are some sort of subtle aspects that I've noticed. And then I just wanted to mention quickly about hedging and how to use it. If you want to say this way is better, I think this way might be better. So you're adding a sense of uncertainty, which makes you sound more polite. Another example is I don't know why can become I'm not quite sure why. Another one, this was wrong. I think there was something that might not have been quite right here. Could you take another look at? So then you're offering further suggestions and a request. Okay, so you can see all of this flowery language that's added in to make the speaker sound less harsh, less direct, and therefore more polite. 从这些例子可以看英国人的说法多么的啰嗦，因为我知道很多中文母语者觉得英国人写 email 是很糊涂，未来的时候想更具体的解释这部分。可是下次影片的话题是推翻一个对亚洲人的刻板印象，希望你们会喜欢。谢谢收看，我是戴书宪，我们下次见哦。